Hey yo, what's up guys, Boogle here, and here we are with the next Extreme SBR video. This time we're doing, of course, Super INT. Yes, I did pull the man Gogeta, so we're gonna use him and see how he fares at 55% in this stage. Now, it took a while looking for a Super Gogeta friend lead, but we did find one, and he was a rainbow one as well. I don't expect him to be too crazy at 55% in Extreme SBR, because Extreme SBR is one of the most difficult modes in the game, if not the most difficult mode in the game currently on global until the God event arrives. But even still, both the God event and Extreme SBR are similar in difficulty. Now let's do a quick rundown of the team. Of course, we are bringing the dual Super Gogeta lead after Easy A. Both of them are so amazing. That dodge is amazing. They both lower attack and stuff. They raise defense on super attack. They hit super hard. And they're just amazing. And of course, as you saw there, we have Supreme Kai, a very OP unit for Super Battle Road and Extreme SBR. That active skill is super useful. You can pop it really whenever you want. And the utility Supreme Kai brings with the stun, the seal, the dodging, the lowering of attack. Supreme Kai is really a staple unit to bring, and it is possible to do a no item run with this unit right here. That's how useful Supreme Kai is. Of course, like I mentioned before, the main reason we're doing this stage is of course SSJ4 Gogeta. We have him on the team, he's at 55%, but Gogeta is good enough to perform pretty well at 55% in Extreme SBR, so it's not like he's unusable at 55% or anything. He's still great at 55%. And of course, we got Ghost Tanks there, a very good Easy A. He creates Rainbow Orbs, which is pretty OP for this team, especially because Super Gogeta does need those Rainbow Orbs with his Easy A, and the healing he gives with those Rainbow Orbs is very nice as well, and he also does have a chance to stun on his super attack, which is very helpful in SBR and Extreme SBR. He also raises his defense on super attack, so he's a good slot 2 unit. And our filler unit here is of course Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, a good unit to bring for the stage because he does have that stun chance. He does have that very nice SBR ability of lowering the enemy's attack and defense. So yes, multiple enemies, and we're doing Extreme SBR, so there's always going to be, almost always going to be multiple enemies, so that lowering attack and defense lets a lot of units take double-digit damage on normal attacks, which is very crucial. And the last unit on the team we did bring is of course INT Vegeta, aka INT Goku and Vegeta, the 3rd year LR. They are still very good, and not to be slept on. A lot of people do sleep on them. They are still really good. They're just there to hold that 3rd slot pretty well. They can bust out 2, 3, 4 million attack stats, sit at 150k defense, and yeah, they could do very well. And if we do for some reason go to 6 turns, of course, that is when we can fuse and bam, just murder everything with Super Vegeta. And yeah, that's pretty much a rundown of the team. It is very possible to do a no item run with this exact team. Just have to get a little bit lucky because I'm not at 79% or 100% hidden potential in all of these units on the team or anything. And look at Gogeta go, man. Those super attack counters, very OP. Boom, get your ass out of here. Now in terms of link levels on the team, SSJ4 Gogeta is really the only one at max links. Everyone else is at level 5 to level 7, maybe some at like level 9. Supreme Kai, I'm pretty sure he's only like at level 2 links or so. I did recently get him, so wanted to do this video as quick as possible as soon as I did get Supreme Kai, because he was a missing link on this team. Supreme Kai's utility is just way too good. He's healing once you fuse him. He's of course doing that debuff when you do fuse him. That stun, that 2-turn stun, which is very crazy. And of course before you fuse him, you can of course use him to dodge. He raises his defense, can lower attack, stun. You already know how crazy Supreme Kai is. I don't have to go into it too much. But we got pretty unlucky with the fights here. 2 duo fights back to back. That goes pretty rough, because duo fights can take a long time to take down, especially if you're not getting all those crits for your units. But that won't be an issue because we do have super effective against all types. But it doesn't really help too much since, of course, we have type advantage anyways, so we just gotta rely on the stunning and sealing of like Supreme Kai, Ghost Tanks and such, and just let the rest carry. Now of course this stage did become a lot easier after Gogeta's Easy A. I mean, he does pretty much carry it with that dodge. And of course Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, here we go again with that amazing super attack counter. And boom, get your ass out of here. We used an item this turn, so we shouldn't take any damage at all, because Vegeta with that debuff and the damage reduction with the item, we're perfectly safe in this rotation. And look at the man Super Gogeta go. Look at him go off. Bam. Dodging twice. Dodging 3 times. 4 times. That man dodged everything right there. You went UI Goku mode. MUI mode right there. So yeah, if we didn't use an item, we definitely would have survived this rotation right here. And yeah, you can probably tell how it's very easy to do a no item run now. It is RNG reliant, but it is a lot more easy now. Now I was pretty confident here putting Gogeta in slot 1 with that dodge, so I just put him there. And of course Vegeta at the end there shouldn't take too much damage at all, and he's gonna dish out a pretty high attack stat as well. Now he does get hit pretty hard if he doesn't dodge before he super attacks and gets hit, but after he super attacks and he raises his defense, he does defensively fare very well, especially because he has the powerful ability of lowering attack and raising his own defense, which makes it very easy to tank. And as always, I went for the stun on Frieza right here. His King Cold is pretty much dead already, so there we go. If you could get that stun on Frieza, we should be very safe and take no damage at all for the next rotation. Now there's a couple times in this run where SSJ4 Gogeta did disappoint sometimes, so it's not like he was popping off at 55%. He did disappoint sometimes, though I was kind of underwhelmed with the performance of Gogeta at 55%, but I gotta remember that it is a little bit RNG reliant. But I also did have in mind, he's at max length, so him to perform not too well at 55% was kind of shocking. Yes, this isn't his max potential with his max links active, but still, Gogeta doesn't have to be put in a position at max potential to perform well. He is that type of unit that performs well pretty much everywhere. But in this run, he did kind of let me down in a few places. Like the Easy A Super Gogeta easily outperformed SSJ4 Gogeta in this run. But when I do eventually get dupes for SSJ4 Gogeta, I'm very curious to see how he'll perform in this stage. So I do want to test him out when I do eventually get some more dupes in him. Also want to work on Super Gogeta's links. He is 90%, but don't have his links leveled up at max. Want to see how he does with max links, because he is going to be a monster. Also did recently finish INT UI Goku's links in preparation for 6th year. He's going to be amazing as well. And he should do fairly well in this stage after his Easy A. And wow, we're already at the 3rd fight in this stage. We're zooming through with that double Gogeta rotation. Now when I was doing this run, I didn't pay attention to the final fight, so I didn't really know that Bojack was actually the last fight until I finished this fight already. So I decided to use the Dokkan attack in this fight and not on the Bojack fight, which would have been a lot better, because Bojack is a 5-man fight, so that means the HP is pretty distributed and they are very weak standalone. So if you get a Dokkan attack on a 5-man fight, chances are you're gonna kill 4, 3, maybe even all of the units if you do have a nice unit doing the Dokkan attack. But 3-man fights, it is doable. Like, it isn't too crazy, their stats aren't super buff. But 2-man fights are the worst. They have so much HP, their stats are so crazy. And in some of these SBR stages, there's a 1-man fight at the final stage, and that just takes forever. And they are super buff, some of the hardest enemies in the game. Like in that fight, that's when you can see all the transformations happen, all the active skills and stuff like that. That's how long that fight can go. But yeah, like I was saying, I was trying to get that Dokkan attack off on the last fight, but I didn't pay attention and didn't notice that Bojack was the last fight. Otherwise, I definitely would have saved this Dokkan attack. Now, I did decide to fuse here with Supreme Kai, of course, because having that attack and defense debuff against the enemies with Whis active makes it to where we take no damage at all. Also makes it to where, of course, their defense is lowered, so they could get one shot by Gogeta pretty easily. So it's just right here when I look down and I realized, oh snap, the Dokkan meter is almost full, and I'm like, why not? Let's just go for it. It's a 3-man fight. Let's just end this fight early, get the Dokkan attack, and move on into the last fight. And didn't know the last fight was Bojack once again. And I don't think Gogeta wipes out everyone with this Dokkan attack. I actually can't remember. Maybe he does, but if he got a crit on this, he definitely would have wiped them all out. But I don't think he did. I guess we'll find out again right here. Also, Ghost Tanks, after his EZA, is a pretty slept on unit. He's not to be ignored. If you get him a whole bunch of rainbow orbs, and he's in second slot, he could really tank well. And wow, we did get the crit, and we did not finish him off, and yeah, goes to show how much health SBR enemies do have. Well, extreme SBR. But Gotenks here is gonna finish him off, and bam, look at that KO screen right there. And here we are moving into the last fight, and this last fight took around 6-7 minutes, so it was a pretty long fight even for a 5-man fight where each enemy individually does have pretty low HP. Now of course, if we save that Dokkan attack, this would have been like a 2-turn fight, but I had to clown and not look at the final fight before going into the third fight. Starting off with this rotation was pretty nice because Vegeta with that attack lowering is nice, but there's 5 enemies and I was worried about getting super attacked multiple times here, so I did use a Ghost Usher anyways. So that got rid of all the worries. It was just my goal to take down at least one enemy in this rotation, and we did do that pretty easily. Now I wasn't confident enough to target Bojack, because I don't think we would have been able to take out Bojack with just both Gogetas, so we did just target someone else. And we're gonna have Ghost Tanks in the next turn, so we could maybe stun one of the enemies, and that'll also eliminate one of the threats. And yeah, we were pretty easily able to take out this enemy right here. So Vegeta did get a super attack, and maybe we did all just target Bojack. We could have been maybe able to kill Bojack, and he is the biggest threat in this fight, of course, with how much he attacks. Now that is a lot of attacks in the second slot right there, but Ghost Tanks, if he does get a good amount of rainbow orbs, he should be fine, especially if we get that stun on Bojack. But I did think for a good minute right here of what to do. I mean, we do have so many items left, we could easily beat this if we just spam items, but that's not the swag way to do it. So I did play a little risky, and it did pay off in the end. I mean, once again, we're guaranteed victory here with items. That's just how it is with one of the easier Extreme SBR stages, only because of how powerful Super Gogeta and SSJ4 Gogeta is, of course. And look at Super Gogeta go, dodging everything right there, and bam, busting out that 2 million attack stat, super effective against all types, yada yada. We know how good he is. Double super attack, he's gonna take no damage because there is Whis live. So yeah, those 3 units I mentioned definitely did make this a lot easier. And the backbone units like Ghost Tanks and Supreme Kai also, without those units, this stage would be a lot more hell. Like, look at Extreme Tech, for example. Extreme Tech is just so whack, and the amount of units on there is pretty low. The amount of good units is pretty low, and some of the good units are very whacked out. There we go, 2 enemies down, and Bojack is stunned, of course, so we don't have to worry about him. So we just have to focus on one enemy here again, and yeah, we should be fine. Also, that clutch Supreme Kai on rotation means we could use that active skill if we do want to, and that means we shouldn't take any damage at all, really. So yeah, we did decide to pop that, and while we look at this active skill, yes, Extreme Tech, Extreme SBR, that video is gonna come soon, and I have completed the stage, but I haven't recorded a video for it, so we're gonna have to go back in and record a video if I could find a good friend lead for that stage, that is, because I'm no way in hell I'm gonna use Tech Broly as a friend lead for the stage. Because this stage, it took quite a while to find a Super Gogeta lead for this stage. So for the Extreme Tech stage, that is gonna take ages to find a good friend lead and record a video for that stage. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna skip it completely, so do keep that in mind. I'm not gonna skip the stage and not make a video for that stage. that is coming soon, maybe next. Also, the new stages of SBR, Extreme SBR, are coming out pretty soon as well, so excited to do those videos, but that'll be after I upload all of the normal Extreme SBR stages first, because I've only done a few. Actually, I've only done 2 Extreme SBR stages. That was, of course, Extreme INT and Super AGL. Yeah, those are the only 2 I've actually recorded for a video, so the rest I still have to record, and this will be the 3rd one. Exciting. So yeah, if you are watching this far, I doubt many people did reach this far, but if you did reach this far, drop a like for the Dokkan videos. More likes equals more Dokkan videos. It lets me know very easily that you guys want more Dokkan videos, and that's when I'll start to really push out more Dokkan videos. And this stage is just about done. We have 2 enemies left, one of them is 1 shot away, and Bojack is at half health. Now I think here is where I took a really big risk and I just went with no items on this turn. I was pretty confident that SSJ4 Gogeta would dodge and counter and Super Gogeta would dodge and we wouldn't take too much damage. But without Supreme Kai on rotation and without Blue Vegeta on rotation, they could take a lot of damage, so I was like, oh hell no, I'm not gonna risk it this far in. Especially since we can't find another friend. And look at that, 32k with Princess Snake live, and that is just how it is. Now you can really see the impact of having Vegeta Blue or Supreme Kai on rotation with that debuff, because that is a lot of damage with that 30% damage reduction. But Gogeta is here to get that amazing hit on Bojack to lower his attack, because his attack was not lowered. And wow, it gets an additional, but yeah, there we go. And the OG Super Vegito, INT, Goku, and Vegeta is gonna finish it off here. And there we go, there it is. Super INT Extreme Super Battle Road, aka versus Extreme Tech. Pretty easy stage, a power creep stage. Yeah, just really wanted to test out that new SSJ4 Gogeta we got. And yeah, he did pretty well for 55%. Kind of underwhelming at some points, but he did okay for 55%, but he did have max links. But yeah, there we go. Drop a like if you enjoyed, of course. Subscribe if you're new, join the hashtag Boogle gang. It's been John Boogle, and more Dokkan videos to come soon. That's of course if you want them, so let me know. It's been John Boogle, and see ya!